said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing can test, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squad as raw as trash goes can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest battle royal on the internet, the greatest cage match, the greatest Iron Man match, the greatest dark arena match, empty arena match.
Wow.
Come on, I went Mankind Rock Super Bowl halftime match.
You did.
Empty arena match. Created just for the primetime slot they threw in there at halftime of that one Super Bowl. That was also the one where I think Mankind got 8 or 9 chair shots while handcuffed behind his back, and people were upset. And this is like 7 years ago. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Glue Guys program as I go off on another wrestling diatribe. We'll come back to that some other time. Right now, welcome Season 2, Episode number Deuce. Dose. Pick your language. Welcome another Wednesday night here in beautiful downtown Glendale, Arizona on my end. And then at a undisclosed, parts unknown, we'll go Undertaker for you. Either Death Valley or parts unknown. For my partner in crime, the brains behind the operation, Mr. Blaze Rock, a.k.a. Mr. Marlos Hill. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. We are in the building. It's, it's a little chilly outside, and I don't like chili. So, yeah, otherwise, fantastic.
It is a little, it's winter for us.
Yes,
I should
other
say.
people would be talking about, it's not that cold. I swear, it's cold to me. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah, this is my 7th winter here, and it's finally like, okay, they can take my East Coast card. I'm legit. It's a little chilly.
Yes.
Chilly. Like I pulled, if I was playing outside tonight, like league or something, I'd definitely go Under Armour.
Yeah, I just wouldn't play.
That is an option.
I just wouldn't play because this is not for me. It's for the birds. Yes, I know it's not that cold compared to. I don't care. It's cold to me.
It's cold enough.
Yeah. So.
Hey, quick side note. Got my thanks for hanging in there patience email from the Clink Room today.
Oh, nice.
Waiting on my new BP Mercenaries hat that I ordered. Should be out April, they're saying. What I never noticed until today, which is sad on my part, but you will get a kick out of. I ordered it without even looking at the color of the brim. And then when I saw it today, I looked to the heavens as if he could hear me and went, Paco, you son of a bitch.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and kill you for it because Paco didn't design that. He didn't make that choice at all.
Do you see why I would think that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But
so for those playing at home that have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, the color of the under the brim is Kelly green, a renowned and beloved color to those diehard Philadelphia Eagles fans, because that's the same color of the famous 1990s Buddy Ryan era jerseys that we keep hearing are coming back next year. We shall see. But yeah, I being a Philly guy didn't notice it. I'm embarrassed, but hey, we're 100% real on the show. Transparency. I am totally hanging myself out here. You would think I would have caught that. And again, wrong again, giving Paco credit, thinking it's a Philly Connect, when in reality, it was depressed Cardinals fan Marlos Hill's choice. So
I will go even further and say, to be honest, the Kelly Green visor is the classic default fitted. And I will say that my whole reason for the green undervisor was because the hat is supposed to be sort of a classic, a classic design or a classic mindset. So I wanted to use a very classic type of undervisor. Some of the other fits in the, in our pack, we were a little more liberal with doing some, some fancy funky stuff on it. But
Right.
I wanted the one for us to be as default standard vintage throwback as you fucking could get. So yeah, that's why it's green.
Shift and pivot in just a second. Speaking of apparel, and if you didn't get in on that pre-order, you're going to see that hat a lot when I get it in April because I'll probably wear it. I'm excited. Anyway, as you can see, got a new jersey. We got some Glue Guys merchandise. These are we'll call them test printings. All right. I don't know what word they use in the fashion sense, but we'll call them test printings. But what I do have to show, and I'm very happy about, and you'll see them Saturday. The hoodies came in, as you can see, branded, which I'm a fan of. But what I like
angle. You got a good angle going on there.
The Fox.
Let me
Gucci, 80s Gucci looking, hood. We got the GGs in there. Got the old school, which I got the thumbs up from the boss today. The old school Arizona U-Trip logo. Got the mountains in there. I don't know why they stopped using this, but, we kept putting U-Trip on there, and I wanted to be a little more local. So we went with the Arizona there. And then, of course, you can never have enough G's on your stuff. So the GG there. So all the other ones will have 23 on the back for the year based off Marlos's Challenge Cup design jersey, which I love. I have a custom, obviously, because I got them made. And then Blaze also has his own. I'm not sure what I'm doing order-wise. I may order other ones. I'll let you know after the weekend. So if you are interested in that, get with me this weekend and let me get some info. And then a sample we had sent to us, which I got to admit, now that I see, I'm a little mad I didn't do. But again, the GG, but the black hood is kind of fresh.
It is.
The black hood kind of
contrast.
sells that with the arms. Again, you see the Arizona Lucha. But this guy who did this, the company, they put these yellow circles in there. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't like it. But what I really love that they did is they kind of got the you could see on the pouch they put a border kind of on the pouch, a black border, which is badass. Anyway, we're working on some Glue Guy stuff and more coming soon. But we're gonna go with the hoodies this weekend and take off from there. Speaking of, Winter National, we're gonna do the preview here very soon. I'm sure there's people, I don't know. Here we go with AZ softball rumors again. Let me quell another one, okay? The help doesn't get free ones, Mickey. Sorry. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a trade. I'll give you a hoodie if you work for free. Is that fair?
Yo, that's wild.
Does the hoodie cover your bill? Oh, what? Coming out hot. Coming out hot. Shout out getting shit on right before the Exfil helicopter DMZ squad. Shout out.
Yes. That was We'll get to that. We do have a little segment today where we're gonna break out a little gaming conversation real quick. But first and foremost, don't we want to get to a couple of things about Winter Nationals? I should say Winter Nationals that just happened.
All right, so the I don't know what we call men's and women's division. Like I don't
men's.
know.
Yeah, I mean it's basic standard. I mean, what is it? Default Winter Nationals versus senior Winter Nationals, or I mean, I know everybody uses the whole kids thing, but that sounds weird. Kids Winter Nationals, that sounds really pedo. So let's just run with the original, the originator of the U-Trip Winter Nationals. We're gonna be doing a little rewind on what happened this past weekend.
I mean, it's one of the bigger tournaments of the year locally. Usually their participation is really good across all divisions. I mean, we look great this weekend. We've got 20 total. Back to the division split, so we'll have majors and AAA, which is always nice. New blood. We have out of state blood.
Wait. You just jumped the shark altogether. You went from the tournament then to the the preview.
Right, I'm kind of overview of all, so senior and kids. Well, I'm just saying as far as participation goes. And then I was going to say the kids, I think, had like 122 teams or total. So the participation for us is usually really good for Winter Nationals. Last year we were at Legacy, and we were right around the same number. I think seniors had 22. All the other divisions, I think they had maybe like 130. We had a couple extra out-of-state teams who wanted to come play at Legacy because if you remember, we opened Legacy last January, and yeah, we're going to say it was the softest of soft openings.
Yeah, I remember a lot of things weren't in place yet at the facility, and there's that.
Yeah, they failed the stress test. Let's just put it that way. All right, there were some things that got pointed out that need to get fixed.
I mean, a year later, though, I mean, we might as well jump on into that rewind. But a year later, though, I'm gonna talk about specifically Legacy. I'm gonna give a shout out to Bob and team. Tourney ran well, obviously, at least at Legacy. I was not at Cactus, but I haven't seen a single soul complain about how things were run at Cactus. I know at Legacy everything ran pretty well. A couple of games got behind, but I mean it happens. It wasn't outrageously behind or nothing, or it wasn't 6-hour waits or something like that. So the tournament was run really, really well. I'm still not sold on Legacy, and I'm not even looking at it from the standpoint I usually do, which is how far it is from where I live. I'm really just looking at it like it's difficult to justify, financially. The fields are nice. I still like the turf. Yes, I know the turf isn't quite as broken in as everybody wants to because everybody's a fucking turf expert, but I still like playing there. The balls are true, if nothing else. The hops you're getting are true. The balls are bouncing true. I'm good. I'm not very specific on that. Beyond that, I will say I'm still trying to understand. We're paying for parking, one. So parking was $5. And I don't want to hear anything about the fucking free area in the dirt in the mud. Let's just call a spade a spade. Most of the free area was in mud. I didn't want to walk in the mud. I don't give a shit how that sounds. I didn't want to park in the mud. I don't give a shit how that sounds. Free or not, I'll pay the $5 to park in, on concrete. The fact that we're paying for parking, I don't know. That I get it. You got to pay the bills somehow, but that's bullshit. The fact that my daughter and one of my daughters and my wife came with me on Friday night, that was a $24 bill for the two of them to get in the tourney. What's killer is it'd be different if it was like Cactus, where you get in there and you can go in the building, you can kind of hang out at the bar, you got different things to do or whatever, different things to purchase, ways to get out of the air. On the softball side at Legacy, you can't do shit. You're basically paying to sit outside. It's no different than paying to get into Pioneer or paying to get into Papago or some shit like that. There's no, legitimate concession. There's one, there's a little trailer truck or whatever that sells $5 freaking drinks. But you're paying $12 or whatever to get in for that. There's limited cover. There's nowhere to go in a day like it's cold. Like it was cold all weekend, obviously.
Yeah, you can't bring heaters in, right?
You can't bring any kind of heater in. Right. You can only bring electric heaters. But again, bringing an electric heater is almost defeating because there aren't very many electric sockets available where you can watch the games. So it defeats the purpose altogether. I just don't understand. I mean, I understand. Look, I understand economics. I understand that you got to foot the bill. You got to pay for all these things that get put up and everything. But it's a joke. I see somebody in the chat kind of use the same word, absolute joke. The people that work there are interesting because they're really fighting for their $12. I saw people getting harassed. I won't say harassed, but I saw people getting, having some conversations with the gate staff about, whether they paid or didn't pay or did pay or didn't pay the day before and all this. It's sloppy. It's ugly to me. And it makes it, again, I know I've said this before during the first season of the show. It makes it difficult to justify playing in what is, yes, it's a man, women's, and adult sport, but it's a family sport. At the end of the day, you want to bring your kids, you want to bring your spouse or your significant other or whatever. It shouldn't cost you an extra $50 to do that. We're already paying a fortune as players. Some of us that aren't necessarily blessed enough to have a team sponsor or something like that. So we do have to pay out of pocket. So when you're paying that fee to play and then you're paying for your family and your people to get in, and then you're paying an exorbitant amount of money for food or for drinks. And then someone said you can't smoke outside. So you're paying to stand outside and not smoke, not drink, you can only do certain things in the way that they deem it fit. I think that's ugly. Now, I'm done complaining about the fields. I just want to say again, the D tournament, at least the D and the opens were all at Legacy. C was open at Legacy as well. All those games were awesome. All the tournament portions were very, very good. Shout out again to Bob and team. Just a great time. Just a great time.
Yeah, I mean, and last season on the show, I tried to give a little more insider perspective from a director's point of view and how I was looking at it and what we had to deal with just for the senior division. I can't speak for the kids, just my knowledge, because obviously I got to look at the numbers and anything's got to make sense business wise, or you're not going to be there very long.
Absolutely.
And the numbers that came out of Winter Nationals last year were, I mean, I think I lost my mind for a couple weeks on the show back in January. I mean, it was it's just crazy. And then last year, we were promised things, because if you remember, we ran January and February over there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I bit my tongue a lot during Winter Nationals because I was told it would get fixed by February, or you'll have this for next tournament. And I'm like, all right, it's opening. I think the design, and I've said this from day one, the sidewalk design inside of the fields from field to field is the most insane thing I've ever seen, because they left all this space between the fields, this general throughway or walkway, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say it's, 40, 50 feet across is probably a safe estimate, right? Mm-hmm. If not more. And they have a 6-foot sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Only really on one side of the fields where the entrance, and then so you still got to walk another 35 feet to go across, mm-hmm. and it makes no sense to me. And then I remember, by the time they got around to this, they were over budget, out of money. Like, mm-hmm. for the amount of money they spent on certain things in there that they could have deleted and done just pavers, or even just mm-hmm. concrete all the way across, mm-hmm. it is insane. They also spent money in the wrong places, and I'm in construction, folks. I'm a construction inspector by trade, so I do bills and contracts and cost of things all day long, twice on Sunday, so I could tell them how much it was. And then it was all dirt, mm-hmm. and still dirt. And the funny thing is, all these things I was promised in February never happened. I still had to pay the same price, which I flipped about. Maybe we could pay. You could try. You could certainly try.
I love it.
But yeah, I want to see somebody walk up to somebody of Legacy of Authority and pull out your EBT card and be like, "No, either take it or I'm not paying."
Yeah, straight up.
But here's the bigger question: is like, how many Big Macs? Or I'm the wrong friggin' place. How many Whoppers or King whatever? Like, are people going to load up? Like, there's a lot of existential questions now. People walking into Burger King with their EBT cards.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You gotta
eat. You gotta eat.
That's a problem.
I'm not mad. I mean, there are times where I wish I had an EBT card, and Burger King maybe not be it. However, if we can if we can use the EBT card at Legacy, maybe I'll attend more tournaments at Legacy. Okay, I'm lying.
But yeah, it's not worth. It's not worth what they were asking, and then they offered a discounted price later, and it still wasn't worth that. Plus, I think they don't understand, and Bob certainly does now, the difference in what senior players want and need as opposed to younger guys and girls playing at those fields. Bathrooms and distance are way more important to guys over 40 than guys 26 years old.
Well, now they have,
and they're always bringing family.
So they had this weekend. They had a couple of, I'll just call them trailer porta potties.
Right.
They had those in the middle, but I'm
still the
absolutely
middle.
agreeing with you. I was gonna say I'm saying that to absolutely agree with you, but add a little color to why it's such a bad implementation. I will also piggyback on what you just ended with about bringing families. Well, if I got, like, for example, I got a few daughters, right? And now obviously they're a little older, but my youngest, she's only 12. I don't want her walking all the way clear, up the way to a bathroom by herself. But to your point again, you have this tiny ass sidewalk that has fucking carts going back and forth the whole fucking time. And those carts typically, they don't want, for whatever reason, they don't want to be on the dirt or mud. They want to be on the sidewalk. So it goes right back to what you said, is like you built all this area and then you built this little 5 foot, it's basically two people's length, width. And then you have all these golf carts going back and forth on the sidewalk. And they're usually dicks, so they don't get the fuck off the sidewalk when someone's walking. They just kind of, wait, like, all right, you can get out of the way or some shit. I don't know. I see a lot of people obviously agree with, my general disposition about Legacy. I stand where I was. I stand where I am about it. Fuck the fact that it took me an hour and 20 minutes to get there each time and each time back. It's just not what it could be for softball. I haven't had the opportunity to go over to the soccer area or the basketball area or the huge monstrosity that is all the different screens and shit over there. But I'm not interested. I'm good. They screwed the pooch on that.
Yeah, I think they missed a golden opportunity, and I'll just say I hope the rumors that I'm hearing are true about a certain place on the west side that supposedly is getting a makeover. Make that, you may know, you may not. I'm not going to speculate and say names, but I hope that that's true because that's going to change the game.
I agree.
For tournaments and whatnot. So, whether I'm playing or I'm not playing or whatever, I'm still, it is what it is. Oh, look at that. That's got to be Mickey. He's the only one crazy enough to offer you a room on the east side, so you have like a jump point there.
Yeah, look,
the crash crib.
So here's the thing, right? I guess this is me giving a little piece of what I thought, right? My only concern really was, one, I never like to be a burden to anyone. And I always like a little, level of flexibility. So going into the brackets, of course, I was kind of looking to see, and I actually considered just getting a room out, in the East Valley, get a room at one of the casinos or something like that. My wife and I can hang out, kick it. But then the money of it, or I won't say the money of it, the practicality of it didn't make sense. Because there was a part of me that was like, well, because of the way the bracket was set up, we very well could just, we could have gotten into Saturday, played one game and been done, or we could have gotten into Saturday and played 15 games or something crazy, and then we're right back in the same position. I still have to drive. So I was like, all right, I'll drive. I have no problem with driving. I do a lot of complaining about driving, and I don't want to make it misconstrued. I don't like to drive. I definitely don't like to drive really, really far. I don't like to drive, across the fucking city. So I'm gonna bitch about it all the time, but I'll do it because I'm a team player. I like playing softball. I like softball, whatever. So I'm gonna do it. However, it's still a point to be made that it's really fucking far. It was the funny thing is was Sunday. Sunday, I think we had Sunday we had a game at 9:15 a.m. I really had to leave my house at like 6:30 or so. And it was, So I'm not gonna fit in any frying pan, man. There's no pans that big.
Yeah, it could have been better execution on that joke.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's tough. I know I'm speaking. I know I keep referencing myself, but I know there's a lot of people that live on the west side. Maybe not as far as I do, but I'm sure that they can pretty much agree with the same sentiment. Legacy is really, really far. It's not about East Valley, right? Because when you think about it.
Oh, no, it's not East Valley.
Legacy is 20 minutes further than Cactus. And I think all of us have kind of come to, Cactus is cool. It's far, but we can make it. When you're going 20 more minutes than Cactus, that's far. That's not convenient. That's not being a crybaby. That's a really far drive. I think it's like 65 miles or something crazy from my house one way.
Well, I did it. So today, and it's funny we bring this up because today I went down and I met up with Bob and got another case of balls in the rings for the weekend. And the way I came home was right past Legacy down Ellsworth there. And I literally started getting a little twitches because when I ran the two tournaments, I left my house at 5.
Yeah.
Trying to be there for 6:30.
Yeah.
Because, I got to set up and I'm a little crazy in that I like everything I have set up by 7, even though I'm really not going to see anybody till about 7:30, 7:40 when guys, they mosey on in. I just like having everything ready for the first person. Well, I mean, that's, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, isn't it?
Not, you know what? I 100% agree with them. And
I'd much rather drive the Maricopa. I've driven to both. I like
Absolutely.
Maricopa better.
Maricopa's an easy, smooth move for me. I just hop on the 202 and boop, 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 and I'm down the way. I love it. No, you're in and out. It's not close, but it just doesn't feel as far as Legacy. Legacy feels like we're going to the corners of Maricopa County, and we want you to know you're way the fuck out of here. It's nuts, dude. It's nuts.
I didn't have you bring it because I had to be over that way anyway. So I wasn't going out of my way just to get that stuff. I had a couple other things I had to take care of in my trip today. So I kind of knocked out all of my East Side responsibilities in one fell swoop because I don't want to go back for a long time. And luckily, I shouldn't have to now that I'm thinking about it.
Yes.
Even as a player, I don't think I'll see that side of town until May at the earliest. And I can't tell you how happy that makes me. All right. So, Legacy, still a thumbs down. Anyway. Yes. But, hey, we did have good games.
Yes.
Out there with all the divisions. I got my notes here. So
a little nepotism. A
little bit.
So I made a statement last week saying that I was betting that my team would make it to Saturday. I am amazed at how many people didn't understand that joke. I had a ton of people say, "Well, hey, you said you guys were going to make Saturday." Yeah, everybody made it to Saturday.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
I don't understand how people didn't get it, but hey.
But Corey doubled down on the joke. That's what makes it even worse in that he got it right away and just doubled down and used it as a prediction.
Yes.
And yet, so obviously we have to dumb back the humor a little bit, maybe. I don't know, man. It's just
I don't know.
I
don't know. I thought it was pretty obvious.
I thought so too.
Funny, right? And it didn't work out that way. The one thing I will say to add to that, my own team saw Corey's message about Road Warriors made it to Sunday, and folks were like, "Yo, is that a diss?" And I'm like, "No, it's not a diss. It's a reference to my own statement saying we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it Saturday." A little bit of nepotism. Yeah, we made it. We did a fourth place job. Shout out to my team. I know I don't do that very often on the show. I'm usually fairly neutral about my own teams, but I'm saying it right now. Fuck that. We got fourth. We did what we needed to do. Lost a little steam at the end there against One Shot. One Shot's a great team, and they were stroking, in the first inning or so, and our bats just weren't there. I know I'm kind of jumping out in front of the predictions, but that's why I said it's a little bit of nepotism that we jump right into D. BDB, not BNB, BDB got the first place. Shout out to Danny and the boys. Shout out to Danny.
Another squad man. Coming out hot.
Yeah,
plus I'm partial to the name.
I love partial that guy, to the name is hilarious. The name is hilarious. The name
Backdoor Boogie, man. You're not. Yeah. Come on.
But
I'm partial to your team's name too because it allows me to do bad '80s wrestling references that most of your team are not going to know.
I knew you were going to say that too.
If I go like, oh, what a rush, will have no clue what that is. But come on, the shoulder pads with the spikes before it was cool.
That's what I was gonna say. I might have to do a T-shirt or something that has a reference to the spikes.
Raider fans know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's making me feel old. The second spot, the 2 spot right there, the second place team, was actually a reference back to what Corey was talking about during the show. GPM popped out there, got second place. They did damn good.
The team that shall not be named.
Yeah. They did damn good. It was dope seeing them out there. We were kind of towing the line to make sure that we didn't necessarily give it away last week during the show. But I was kind of excited to see them on there. Ben Kelly's a homie. I love him. He's a shit. Their team did really, really, really well. The third place, of course, was One Shot. One Shot's the team that beat us. One Shot's a solid team. There's a lot of good players on that team. Shout out to Dennis Duran. He was out there pitching and whatnot. And so it's always good to see the homies playing and doing well. It's awesome. It was a great tournament. I think I heard someone else say something very similar. But about the other divisions, I know
real quick, Double D.
Selfish, I didn't check. Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, Double D, Dennis Duran. Just get that in there. I think it was yesterday.
Yes, sir. Tip tap. Yeah.
But show side note behind the curtain there. Den is responsible for all the hats that I've been getting from Marty, so appreciate him and John hooking us up. Men's C, interesting, because I was looking at that. Now, granted, I'm trying to – so I see the name, right, and some teams added a sponsor, changed names, so I'm like, wait a minute, SPS, who the – so I got to go and look at the picture and look at some of the players there. And then I went,
Then you went,
because I'm like, there ain't no way – an unknown, brand new, so I know I'm going to know somebody on that team. So looking at the picture, again, I just was like, well, I wonder who. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So congratulations, SPS, MAL. I'm just going by the picture. I don't know all the sponsors. So SPS, MAL, GHPC, whatever they are. I apologize to your sponsors. Congrats on first place.
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone. The SPS is actually Standard Plumbing.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's why Jergy's yelling at me.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how am I supposed to know that?
Come on, bro. I had your back this time because usually I'll be like, what the fuck? I had your back. It was Standard Plumbing. They did damn well.
And it says SPS. Now I know it's Standard Plumbing Services as
Plumbing
SPS,
Supply.
But if it was SP, I might have got it because I know Standard Plumbing. I don't throw
Standard
the
Plumbing
extra
Supply.
services in there.
Yeah,
supply. You're right.
Supply.
Anyway, the third S. Nobody knows the third S. Let's just be friggin' honest here.
Yeah.
Let's be real, okay, people.
I mean, I know
Thank
because
you,
I know because that's what I get paid for. The details matter. That's where I'm here.
Facts.
Yeah,
facts.
That's why they did awesome. I mean, and shout out to some of their players because they came in, they were cheering us on. So hey, again, nepotism in play right now. So yeah, they did damn well all week.
The whole Catcher Side family's pretty good people, man.
Yeah.
We get older catch up with us at the seniors on Bandits, Halos Bandits, and also sponsors Standard Plumbing Supply.
Yes, sir.
Also helps out with the Bandit sponsorship seniors. Hey, how about our boys Masami there coming in second there? Trevor not screwing around, retooled there. I see.
Yep.
And that's nice, good for them. And then third place, God man, I got to get readers. Bad News Beers, huh?
Bad News Beers.
I like the uniforms. Obviously, anything with beers on them, you got to give a little bit of a shout out to. So
shout out,
nice work there.
Shout out to my man Cave. Obviously,
I see him there with his hair. He needs a haircut in that picture,
he's out
boy.
there, dude. He's out there. I always look forward to seeing Cave. Also, shout out to my man Orlando Machado. He was out there. It was the first time I've seen him in a long fucking time. He's playing with the same team, obviously, and they were telling me about a couple of games where they put in a lot of work to bring it back and pull a dub. So shout out to them. Shout out to that whole team. By all means, understand, yes, I'm nepotistic when it comes to shouting out people. If I don't know you, I ain't shouting you out. But if I know you, I'm going to definitely hit you with a shout out.
Come up and say hello and maybe make the list.
Absolutely, at all times.
That's the best I can do.
Yeah, so great shit.
No, that's good. I mean, we'll actually see Cave this weekend. I'm pretty sure he is.
Pretty sure he'll be
he's running with For Him Factory Majors, so that'll be fun. We'll get to that later, but I'm excited.
Yeah, we will.
I'm a little more excited than normal for a tournament.
Yeah, same here.
Then running up to men's championship, can we just call it the Open? Because I'm old and I hate changing terms. So the men's Open, Proton with their cast of characters, as I see in the picture, it looks to be about 19 people. In the team winner photo. So I don't know who played and who didn't, but congratulations to all of you. Second place, Be Happy Lund, the mighty Lund, still present and
effective.
A factor.
Yes.
A factor in Arizona tournaments. And then third place with all four players. I guess they took off. They wanted to go home. Troublesome. Poor Westcott. He put it up, though. We got the picture up, right?
I love it, but I can't blame him because I'm not going to lie. Every time the games were over, I was like, phew, out the door.
Look, because listen, how many people live within 20 minutes of that place? Maybe 10%?
Exactly.
15%?
Exactly.
They could take their time. Everybody else is just thinking, I got to get out of here. It's like a prison.
I felt bad for some of them folks that were coming from Cottonwood and shit like that. I'm over here bitching from where I'm coming from. But I absolutely understand them dudes from up north were like, hey, gotta go. And I get it.
You know what, though? The guys from Globe, it's probably a shorter drive.
Yeah.
They're probably like, it's only about a half hour, 45 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have to go to my resident Globe. Where's Clint Clayton? He'll tell me. He's my resident Globe expert.
Yeah, he's on here. He was on here.
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
So definitely.
He's only coming on to remind me to bring a certain Funko for him this weekend. Let's just be honest.
Shit. Okay.
Because I will forget it if he doesn't. I got to bring Mickey's too. Don't think I forgot, Mick. All right, let's do the women's. Women's D.
Yeah, run through.
First place, She Wildin'. SK Suites, and then G Sports Arizona. At least see all their sponsors. I can read and understand. Second place wins EPOP, and then third place was the Senior Women's Challenge Cup team jumping in there. Get some swings.
Nice.
So then the Women's Open. I'm sorry, it's championship. I'm saying open. Deal with it. We're old. I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm
call it
open.
Fuck it. Yeah, we're right.
First place. This team just listen. This team is like roll of rolls. All right, we're talking 49ers dynasty. That team in Dallas football team had a dynasty in the 90s. Steelers 70s. It's it's a sweatshirt. The sweatshirt's worth more than that Funko. Yeah, listen, my Auto Jack, SD Lightning, NVH for him. This team is built for the long haul. I am super excited to see how they do in their travel schedule this year. I mean, they got the horses to make runs here at the major tournaments, the ones even out of state. So let's go. Let's go. Madge, let's go. And I'll say that. So congrats on first place. Second place, NTL, GS Sports, worth miking. I mean, that first place team is a juggernaut. You got nothing to be. Second place is impressive. And then third place was Momentum. So good job there.
Oh,
all right.
Oh.
Let's get to our one home run only division.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we do the E's? Like, do we get the E's their props? You know. I mean, I will shout out my man Edgar Gomez for being on the Valley Boys team that took the dub. Shout out to him. That's my boy. So it's cool to see him get a ring and shit. I love it. But that's a really good team, Valley Boys. I'm surprised, honestly, that they didn't move up to D. But they were a really good team last year. Really good team this year, obviously. So to jump out in the first tournament of the year and bang out a dub, all respect.
Hey man, they're there. You know, you got to. It's just like you can only play what they put in front of you type thing, right?
Oh fuck yeah, totally.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'll read in the chat. Absolutely, I could easily see that team being a AA team this year. Absolutely, the SD Lightning. Absolutely, women are ready to go.
Yes,
ready to go. I mean, I saw the scores. I talked to people. I'm telling you, they're a force. They're a force. They maybe they got the right combos. Because look, it's not just talent, right? It's personalities and how they mesh. So this could be it. So yes, Valley Boys, first place in the E division. Second place went to the 928 Boys. I guess boys is a
boys are repping now. Boys are out there repping, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And then I don't have a third place for E. I apologize, guys. And then I think we hold on. I got to get the mix.
Give me a second. I'm on the bracket right now, so I should be able to grab it. The third.
Yeah,
place
let's give props out the third place.
Yeah, I definitely want to get that really quickly.
Beat them in bracket, and they double dipped us in the ship.
Yeah, it looks like Originals. Yeah, it looks like Originals was the third place team.
Okay.
Shout out to them.
They did a little retooling coming into the season too. I think they made a couple changes.
Yeah.
They were kind of on the cusp, right? Or going up, staying E. So I think they made a couple changes, stayed E. So
I'm glad
they're going to be, if they keep it together, they're going to be a team that can do some damage too. So we got a couple teams right off the bat that are going to be fighting it out.
Shout out to Steve-O on Originals, dude. I used to play for Originals a few years ago. Steve is a good friend, and so it's always good to see them doing well, E or otherwise. So yeah, they pulled the third place, and that's really dope. I'm glad to see them being successful.
All right, on the mixed D, first place was Bangers 4BE. 4Base Air Sports. I'll write the whole thing. I know that one.
Sure.
Mixed D, second place, Creep Squad, SK Suites. And they're wow. I'm sorry. My apologies.
On that team too.
My apologies. I kind of got caught because one of the guys in the pictures definitely looks like a creeper. So I'm wondering if that's where they got the name for it. So I'm not going to say who. So they, everybody can wonder over there. Yeah. And then third place, Hot Mess. They've been together for a while as a team.
Yeah,
and they may have made some changes. So I think that
solid.
covers all our winners over there.
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody. I mean, Winter Nationals is one of the coming right out of the gate. Big participation. So you're going to see usually all the top teams, everybody getting their first swings of the year officially. So it's always a good barometer to kind of set a baseline for the year. And then watch as the year goes on to see who goes up, who goes down, because there's always surprises. It never ends up the way you think it's going to. So it's always fun to try to speculate based off of one tournament. It's fun to speculate anytime off of one tournament with, wives, girlfriends, monetary. You got to work Saturdays.
Plus, as a team, you want to be able to say you jumped out the gate. As hard as you possibly could. But I think also, regardless of results, I think the better teams and the better coaches are still evaluating and still looking for things to be, changes to be made. I know we talk about this on the senior side all the time. I don't put a lot of credence in the shit that happens before the month of April. Once April starts rolling around, that's when everybody has come, gone, got rid of folks, added folks. The traditional team hoppers have started hopping already. The coaches that don't give a fuck have already started not giving a fuck. So that you start seeing things shape in April. But this January, like you said, it's a good barometer as to how the season's going to go, how some of these teams are going to play and what they're going to need to do to be competitive. So, yeah, I always love Winter Nationals for that reason.
No, it's nice. It's nice. It's a really good tournament. Like I said, when we start getting closer to summer, the participation – you just don't know what you're going to get from tournament to tournament.
Of course.
Some guys take some off. Sometimes they set their schedule out. Because the guys who have aspirations of going to Worlds, whether it be UTRIP or GSL, the smart coaches at least, okay, set their schedule up for the year to kind of build to try to peak at Worlds.
Agreed.
So you have that evaluation process, however long it is. You might make a change here or there. You might have to make an unexpected change with a personality clash or someone getting hurt for whatever reason. So you're going to have some bumps in that road. It's very hard to start at one point and just keep an upward trajectory getting into Worlds later in the year. But you do your best to kind of judge it. And you don't want to play too much too fast. Mm-hmm. And you definitely don't want to burn your guys out right before Worlds. So it's a balancing act to try to get to where you feel your team is going to be in tip-top shape when you get to the Worlds of your choosing, whichever they may be. Maybe it's both of them. I don't know. But right around Worlds, we get a couple really good out-of-state tournaments in Cali, New Mexico. So you can travel and still get that experience without having to do it first time, at Worlds as a team. But again, some coaches are smarter than others. Let's just leave it at that. And that proves itself every single year when we see the Worlds results come out and we go, oh. We always get one good surprise and usually one disappointment.
Of course.
And who knows, maybe we will try to predict that at some point this year.
Hey, we got a second before we start shifting over into the preview show for the preview portion for Senior Winter National. So what I do want to do real quick as a quick plug, of course, right above us both, you will see some of the sponsors who graciously work with the Glue Guys program to bring you this entertainment mega joint every week. So while you're at it,
that's like a bad 70s cartoon mega joint.
Dude,
Love it.
I was like, yeah.
Like Star Blazers coming on next? What are we talking? G-Force?
Man, we'd almost have to go to that freaking Nintendo Power cartoon, dude. That's how goofy that shit is.
Who had the glove? Who had the Nintendo Power glove? Go ahead.
Right, that was very weird. So shout out to our sponsors again. You'll see those above our heads. Reach out to them. Support their wares and their services as we do as well. I do also want to point out, Hitman gloves right now and is most definitely the official glove of the Glue Guys program. They are doing fantastic work. If you're out in the market for a glove, that's a great place to start.
We don't just pick any glove, people.
Nah, man, not at all. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna segue our way into the preview show for Senior Winter Nationals. It's really it's such a great thing to go from one Winter Nationals to the Senior Winter Nationals. I am excited. I am going to do something that I typically don't do, or not I. We are going to do something we typically don't do. We're actually doing our preview picks, and I say we because typically Mark kind of does his preview, and he has his predictions,
takes the arrows,
and everybody says, "Oh, you just jinxed us," etc. today we're actually both going to do our top 3 picks for AAA and our top 3 picks from Major. I will tell you ahead of time, I know a lot of people will graft on this issue. Yes, I am playing AAA. Yes, I am still going to do some predictions because I am honest enough to recognize where my team is and where my team could be. But more importantly, if you don't like it, fuck you. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to this here tournament. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I don't know why people expect us to change in season 2. I mean, it was a pretty consistent theme throughout all season 1. When push came to shove and there was some type of pushback on any topic, we always had the same consistent response.
I will say though, the funny thing for this season, I did get an ask from an individual who will remain nameless that suggested I should get with you to make sure that my team played their team in pool play, to put a discussion to the end. And I said to this person, I said, dude, honestly, I get the bracket probably at the same time as you all. I get the bracket a little earlier because I'm nosy and I'm always looking on the site to see when it actually shows up. But ultimately, I get the same bracket that you fuckers get. I don't get any special treatment on the bracket. More importantly, I'm not asking for shit. I don't give a fuck who we play, dude. We got a dub. We got to get a dub no matter what it is.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember my bank account password. Hold on, let me.
Oh, okay.
I got the app. I don't know. I just felt the urge. Wow, it hasn't changed at all. So
okay.
No pool game for you.
Yeah,
no, I think I've said it before, but just in case you're new to the program or you weren't here that day or you just don't care, I'm going to say it anyway. I purposely have nothing to do with if we run straight bracket, how the bracket comes out, or if we do pool in a bracket. I have nothing to do with it. When we do bracket, it is based off the U-Trip proprietary numbers, which I think is a power ratings combined with some other stuff. I can look it up. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
All right, that's how a bracket's done. And then the pool is random. And I don't do it. And I thought I've said this, but, let's pull back the curtain again there, Wizard of Oz. I leave it to Bob, so when you people come yelling at me, I go, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yep. So, I get messages here and there about we should see these guys, and I think we owe these guys one, and I don't mind you asking, but I never, ever have done that in U-Trip. Now, I'm not saying I've never done it. I've just never done it in U-Trip.
I'm always straightforward about it with anybody and everybody who asks me. Like I tell them straight up, I don't really have any viewpoint of anything any different or any better, sooner or otherwise than literally anyone else. I'm just a nerd, and I said I'm not gonna lie. When it gets time, like Monday, Tuesday area. When that period comes out, I go on the U-Trip site every couple of hours and I refresh because I want to know what I got to do when, what time I got to play on Saturday. We got a pretty big family. We got a whole lot of shit going on. So I like to be able to plan. I like to be able to tell my wife, but I have no information otherwise. I get it and I see it and I feel exactly the way you all do. I'm like, yo, that's who we're playing. Okay, cool. Now,
that's why I put it out on Tuesday. At first I was gonna hold up the senior stuff till Wednesday for the show, but as time went on, it wasn't that important, and we were going to go over it anyway. So getting it out the day earlier ended up helping a lot of people to set their schedules on the weekends. As soon as the bracket's up, I make a post in the U-Trip group so you know it's up. Very transparent on that. We're not holding anything back. I mean, once in a while we had a team drop, but luckily, knock on wood or metal
on extra wood.
Most guys, everybody, I've been confirming before we run the bracket and everybody's usually in, so we're good there. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to start with the majors.
All right.
I want to start with the majors. I'm excited. For whatever reason, we haven't had a split division in a couple months, and that's fine. It is what it is. We got 6 major teams. 2 new ones to U-Trip essentially as a team. So it's old blood versus new blood. And also, I never thought I'd say this in seniors, old blood versus young blood.
I love it.
So I've already warned Mickey in the morning he might need to actually work because I'm going to be watching a couple of these pool games for the majors. The one that interests me off the bat is, I'm looking for the time on it. Yeah, so at 10:30
Classic
on Field 1, Classy for him is the one that stands out in pool for me. Looking forward to that. I always talk to these guys. Hey, man, senior's a little different game. And I've been always preaching that since I've been in seniors to guys who aren't playing yet or aren't of age, that are on their way up. So I've had that discussion with Junior over the years. I've had it with Pino, like, hey, I know you think you're going to come over here and put a senior bat in your hands and suddenly the world's just going to open up. It's a little different game. Well, now I'm hoping that it can be proven. I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm not saying about result. Just it's a different game from playing B's or C's. I think.
So real quick, just to set the table, just in case people don't actually know, the 6 teams that are playing in the 40 major for Senior Winter Nationals are For Him Factory, the For Him Factory team, AZ Bandits / Halos, Blue Pill Mafia / Downtime Sports. I want to give them a shout out, obviously. Blue Point, Classy 40s, Source One, SBOB, Voodoo Sports. That's the 6 teams that are playing in men's 40 major. To echo you, Mark, I'm gonna say that For Him Classy game is one I'm actually gonna watch. I was thinking about even bringing a little kit to do a quick little commentary spot on it, a little broadcast, a little Glue Guys broadcast, bring it back. And partially because those are the 2 newest teams to 40 major. They are both teams that I have some friends on, the folks that I really like on. Obviously we had Nugget, we had Pino over here last week. Both of those guys being on, either of those teams. It's exciting to be able to see some of the new blood jump into major and play each other at Winter Nationals. I think that's going to be dope. Both teams are stacked with some incredible players. So to be able to see them, play each other right off the bat at 10:30. Also, I'll go ahead and say this ahead of time because I'll be there at 10:30. Is the biggest reason why the 10:30 games catch my attention. Because I'm definitely not going to be there much earlier than that, given that I think we play at 9 or something like that. So
right,
really looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a super entertaining, high scoring type of thing. Because at the end of the day, these guys it's some bangers on both of those teams. I don't want to say any of that to take away from either of the 4 teams that that are not in that mix, because SBOB, Blue Point, BPM, all of them, and obviously Bandits, all of them have proven time and time again that they're really, really good teams in major. So it's kind of awesome to be able to see the two newest teams play each other, as well as, of course, blending and playing each other across the pool play.
Yeah, and then the other point is that a couple teams have kind of retooled. There's been some guys moving around, so I'm curious to see. And I don't know all those moves, so I'm curious to see who ended up where. Things like that, because I know a couple guys, but I know guys move teams. I don't know. There's a lot of discussion, but a lot of them were never settled where they were going. So this will be my first chance to see kind of these newer players on different squads, the retooling. There's guys that I know nothing about that teams are excited about to kind of unveil on the seniors. It's always fun the first one of the year. Because teams think they're set, and then they get a quick lesson of whether they're as ready as they thought they were first tournament out. So it's going to be fun to watch. Any one of these 6 is capable of dropping a 20-25 run open inning at any time. Just keep that in the back of your heads.
What we're not going to do, though, we're not gonna slide by the hard choices. So we got top 3 picks. Yes, of course, the bracket's only 6 teams, but your top 3 for 40 major.
All right, I'm going to go and get mad at me all they want. I'm trying to do this seriously, so I'm trying to break the DeChico curse here.
Okay.
And they're so close it comes down to intangibles, right?
Okay.
So I got to go with what I know,
okay,
not what I think I know or haven't seen yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to go AZ Bandits Halos, number 1.
Okay.
They made a couple moves that I think put them over the top this year.
Okay.
Number 2, at this point, I don't know about SBOB's retooling. So I have to see it first. They very well could finish top 3 without a problem, but I'm going to go what I know. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit, and I'm going to go not really, because they won, but I'm going to give For Him Factory their props for winning Winter Worlds, and that's going to render them at the second place.
It's going to give me second or third?
Second.
Okay. Second.
So Bandits, For Him Factory, and then I'm going to go. See, it's hard.
That moment, I wish I
it's
had
hard.
Music going. Yeah.
I'm going to go Classy 40s for third.
Okay. I like that pick.
It's all coin flips, folks.
Yeah. I was gonna say this one is difficult for me. And obviously, I know I've used the word nepotism a lot during the show in regards to my own teams. However, I'm gonna say I have friends on all of these teams, and guys that I just know are really incredible players. So obviously, it makes it that much more difficult to make a choice like this ahead of time. First tournament of the year, all of that good shit. So number one, I'm actually going to go with AZ Bandits as well in the one spot. Just looking at the roster, because that's the only thing we have reference right now. Looking at the roster, there's a lot of guys on there that have been there already. There's some additions, obviously, but some of those guys are just incredible players. Every time I get a chance, I shout out Nacho. Anybody who doesn't know Nacho, you're a jackass. Nacho's legit.
Yes, you are.
Any team that has Nacho on it is more than competitive by that alone. So, nonetheless, I don't want to take anything else away from anyone else on that team. That team is stacked, and I love it, and I love them, and I love to see them play. So I'm going to go with them, AZ Bandits, as the one spot. The two spot, I'm actually going to go with Blue Pill. Blue Pill has been super consistent for as long as I've been able to play senior, and probably before that. It is a team from top of the structure down to the bottom of the structure, that focuses on being consistent and winning and playing and consistently making the changes that are necessary to do what they need to do. I will say I'm not as familiar with some of the changes that they made this season, but I have a lot of faith in them being able to do so. Now, my three, and I hate the fact that my three is going to almost be the same. My three is actually Classy 40s. My three is Classy 40s because they're look, and I'm going to tell you, before the show, peek into my own behind the curtain period. I had a moment where I was trying to really decide between some of the other teams that are there. Blue Point is always solid. The For Him Factory team is super duper solid, and they have the momentum, coming off the win in winter in that winter tournament. And they are excited to play. They are excited to demonstrate that they are one of the top teams. You can't overlook those types of things. Blue Point is another team that's always consistently really, really good, but I just don't know enough about what they've done and the changes they've made. I'd never, ever want to not say that SBOB is always a great team, and there's always opportunities to see them, really turn it up. But I really feel like Classy is going to come in there and they've got the youthful exuberance, if you will. And they've got some sticks over there that in the senior game, I think it will really translate to some big time results. Do I see any of these games being lopsided? No, not at all. I see all of these games being really, really good. They're either going to be really tight, low scoring, or they're going to be super blowout, crazy numbers. But my 1, 2, 3 still going to be Bandits. It's going to be Blue Pill, and the third spot's going to be Classy. What I'm going to say which is going to kind of contradict what I just said. I actually feel like For Him may beat Classy in that game number 4 at 10:30 on Saturday. I am excited to see that game. I will most definitely be over there, probably with some water and some popcorn, watching that joint. I invite anyone else to say the same. Hopefully we might be able to broadcast a little something or do something, but I think that's going to be one of the games of the day, at least in pool play.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I can sit there the whole game, but whatever time I can make, I will definitely come over if we end up doing any kind of broadcast. I will make some time that the both of us will be on it. A couple notes for the majors that I just want to point out going into it so I have it on record. I truly believe that Classy's ignorance about the senior game, and before you think it's a negative thing, please go look up ignorance, okay? Classy's coming in, and they have not fallen in love with the senior home run yet. Mm-hmm. Most teams fall in love with the home run in seniors, okay? Sometimes it works out great, and other times it doesn't. The smart teams save them, so they have them in the open if they need them, and then just drop them. Too many teams, and it's one of the big differences between AAA and Major. Just free swing and, hey, we got 6 or we got 8 or blah, blah. Classy hasn't had a chance to fall in love with the home run seniors yet, all right? They still have that mentality of the game that they're playing, at Season Beach, right? So
value on home runs. Value on home runs and timing.
Yeah,
yes.
my prediction is their doubles and triples and their gaps are going to win them a couple games and surprise at least one or two of the major teams who are used to, home run or die. Outfielders are going to get aggravated having to chase more balls than usual. So I think that's going to win them a game or two, and they're smart enough to use it. Now, down the road, I don't know. We'll see how the mentality, I don't know. But coming in, first senior tournament, they're ignorant to the home run. I think it's going to pay dividends for them. They're just going to swing.
I'm going to meet you there. One thing that I will point out, I think that's one of the things that made it very difficult for me to make that choice versus For Him. Because For Him has had the opportunity to play, and not only have they had an opportunity to play senior, but they have the brain trust that's been playing senior for a while. The strategy to play, playing senior for a while. So that's one of the things I will say, to echo kind of your point. That's one of the things that made it a little more difficult for me to choose Classy. But what I still stand on is ultimately, at the end of the day, this game is see the ball, hit the ball, see the ball, get the ball. And Classy is, and I use again, youthful exuberance. They are a team that is still playing at a very, very high level in men's. And a lot of the strategy, if you bring that from that high level, those high level games, you bring that over to senior, there's a big difference in that naivete about how to use home runs, etc. These are not guys who are just going up and free swinging. These are guys who are strategic. These are, this is a team that is using bombs and using, their strategy to put themselves in winning positions. And so that's that reason why I was able to kind of say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give Classy that nudge above For Him, only again because these guys are coming from, the men's game where it's a little tighter in terms of you don't have an open. This is what you have to do, and you've got to make it work in the structure that you have. You don't have a 5-run inning to rely on if things get away from you. They're used to having to clamp down and make shit happen. I know a lot of the teams, at least in AAA, a lot of the teams, they give away the 5, right? They're willing to take, they'll get 5, we'll get it back. When you start getting up into those higher levels, they don't want to give you those. They don't want to give you any of those runs. They want to give you 1. They want to give you none. They want to give you 3. If you got 2 on and 5s on, or you got 3 on and 5s at the plate or some shit like that, they still want to stop you. And I think that, Classy still will have that same kind of mindset because that's what they're used to playing and that's what they're typically playing.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of good subplots. That is just one of many. It's going to be fun. It'd be real fun to be a spectator this weekend for some of that stuff. All right, let's transition in to the AAA. I'm going to go over all the teams. So joining us this weekend, For Him, Aces, Dubs Crew, sir.
Yes, sir.
Colorado team, Iced Up 40s coming in. Unknown. Well, I'll touch on that. Old Spice, Sandbaggers on a hell of a run. SOBs, 4BE. Sonoran Pavers, always Roach Transport, always a tough team. Sophisticated, our strikeout boy Don Logan, still stroking. Oh, why you didn't think you could get through a whole show without mentioning that, right? No,
you beat me to it.
Yeah, Christian and the boys still stroking. My boy Goose, hopefully he's not working this weekend. Toto Madre coming back. Vintage, We Stay Fly, my boy Jay, and then wears 5 outs. That's 14 total. Going to the pool games. I will point out games that I'm interested to try to check out, and maybe if you're hanging around some of you majors guys or even some of you AAA guys, because the times are spread out.
Yes.
Okay.
Plenty of time to be able to see.
Yeah,
some games.
Most of you are playing at 9:15 and 10:30 because the majors are going to get most of the 8 o'clocks because they're finishing one day. Will obviously be 2 days if you looked and went ahead and looked at the bracket. Quick note: the rain probability is getting lower and lower as the days go on here. And even with the rain probability, the amount has dropped significantly. So hopefully, if the forecast holds up, we should be fine Sunday. I already have grounds crew ready to go. So any small precipitation, we should be able to get cleaned up. So anyway, moving on. right off the bat, I feel a little bad for Sonoran. As I had said, I don't make these games. They have 2 tough pool games that I want to draw out. They're playing at 8 o'clock against Old Spice, and then they come back and play Tota Madre at 11:45. A little bit of a break, but 2 tough games against 2 really strong squads. Tota's always bringing the heat, regardless of who they pick up. They've always got a core 6, 7, 8 guys. Ray and Cheeseburger and those guys, always with the core. And then they've been grabbing guys here and there, a couple Puro guys. I think Luke Coleman was running with them a little bit. So, they always seem to get those guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, their pickups.
If I could jump right in at the same time as you're saying that, I'm almost going to say the opposite in that Sonoran Pavers is not like they aren't probably the oh shit team of those matchups either. I mean, like, Sonoran's legit, bro. And the teams that they're playing, yes, they're solid teams, but I'm almost to say Sonoran may be the one of those games, the 1 versus the 2 in those games, the A side versus B side.
I'm just saying they have the toughest pool draw at any one.
Oh yeah, no. I get what you're saying.
I'm not
adding that.
I'm not knocking them. They could win them both easily. You don't know,
that's what
but
I'm saying. I wanted to point that out.
Strength of schedule kind of thing.
No, but I wanted to point it out because I didn't want I don't want to go away from the fact that Sonoran Pavers has been, they've been on it for a while, and so for them to come out against teams like that, I'm again saying there's a part of me that feels like they're the A side on on a couple of those. And again, I guess not taking anything from Tota or Old Spice, who are both great teams. I'm just saying, Sonoran, part of the reason that they're there getting those games is because they have been so solid all along.
Yeah, and then another game involves you. No nepotism here.
Yeah.
I'm curious to watch the Vintage Dubs Crew game at 9:15.
Yeah,
I think those are 2 evenly matched squads there.
I'm interested to see that myself.
Well, we got to see how you're swinging the old bat. See how the stick's getting swung.
See how it goes.
And then the other one, there was one more I want to look at. Sandbaggers, SOBs, later in the day, 2:15. SOBs did a little bit of retooling. And I'm curious to see Sandbaggers coming off a very successful run at the Carnies back in December, getting 3rd, and Team Money got 2nd. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. That was a while ago. So so looking at the 14 teams, the ones that stand out, and I'm not knocking anybody, so please don't take it that way.
Man,
but
you ain't got to
the usual suspects.
Yeah,
usual suspects at the top. For him, Sonoran, Sandbaggers, and did I say Sonoran? So Sonoran,
yes,
Sandbaggers, for him, and Tota. I'll throw in there also.
Okay, that's 4.
So there's the 4 I know. Now Here comes the unknown quotient. We have the team coming in from Colorado. The roster checks out, everything's fine. So don't message me and ask. I've already looked it over. But I have no idea. I can look at where these guys have played and what teams they've played on, but that doesn't tell me much, guys.
Not at all.
So they're an unknown quotient. They come in and smash everybody or go 0-4. Yeah, I don't know. So in trying to do predictions, it's kind of hard, to put that into the equation. That being said, I'm not going to go out on a limb. Again, trust but verify. So they're going to have to show me something. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. That's fine. We just appreciate them, making the trip. And we can offer up some serious competition, hopefully, here in Arizona, have them come back. Yes, I did see the Colorado teams in Houston. So I have a little bit of inside knowledge, but not enough where I'm going to go against the teams that have consistently been dangerous here.
Yes.
So let's take a look
call
at
you
these
3.
teams. I'll talk to my
Call you 3. Call you 3.
I'm gonna go. See, I gotta look at their roster. Mike's always ridiculously genius with some of his pickups. So because I haven't looked at any of the rosters yet that way,
right?
I'm gonna go. It's like flip a coin. I'm going to go Sandbaggers 1.
Okay.
I think they normally you expect maybe a letdown after a really strong run, but I think they were close enough in Vegas in December where it left that bad taste in their mouth. And I don't think they've played since then. So while you could talk rust, I think the sour taste and the anger over not getting further and finishing it off will fuel those guys this weekend.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm going to go Sonoran just by loss of a coin flip with my third place team, and I'm going to say For Him comes in third. Tota's in there. They're in there. I just kind of got to go gut because the teams are so close again, just like Majors. Any one of the 4 could win. That's who I like. You have to watch out for the Colorado team making noise, and any one of these teams could get hot.
Yeah.
Dubs, you guys have been on an upward trajectory. Where's 5 at? Always seem to finish top 4 or 5, regardless of who's playing. Old Spice is capable of running the table. So any one of those teams could pop up. You know what I mean? So it's not out of the realm of possibility where none of my top 3 make it. I'm just saying that's how open this thing is.
All right, for me, just two quick things actually. From pool play. A pool playing game I really want to see is the 915, which I won't be able to see it obviously because I'll be playing. What's the 915 that's Total Madre versus Sophisticated? I've seen them play a couple times each other. Those are actually good games all around, and there's a lot of folks on both of those teams that I fuck with pretty tough. So those games are always entertaining, always a good show.
Right.
So if I were to jump right into in the interest of time, if I were to jump right into my picks, one, I'm actually going to go with Sandbaggers. Yes. I kind of agree with everything you said. They're in a good space. Roster wise, they're in a good space. Obviously they have the personnel to do almost anything that's necessary in AAA. And you can't help but respect the fact that they're such a solid team and they're consistently solid. Even from the moment that they constituted themselves as Sandbaggers, they've been a really, really solid team. My number 2 is going to be Sonoran also. It's hard to avoid or overlook the fact that Sonoran's been doing what they've been doing the last 5-6 tournaments in a row, and they keep doing it and they keep building from it. I don't want to take anything from that. So I think they'll be up there in that top 2 or in that top 2. So I'm going for them as my 2. Only difference really between our calls at this point is my number 3 is actually going to be Old Spice. I know Old Spice has spent a lot of time playing over in in NCS and whatever, and haven't necessarily played as much U-Trip or in the same vein. However, they are a really fucking good team. They're a really good hitting team. Defensively, they're solid. They have a lot of speed and everything. Which at the end of the day in senior, when you got speed and defense, yeah, all you need is the bats to come around, and you're a difficult team to beat. So I think Old Spice will be in that top 3. So my top 3, once again, Sandbaggers at 1, Sonoran at 2, Old Spice at 3. I will add one little quick blurb to that. I think, if I were to round out that top 5, because everything has to be a top 5, right? I think Tota's going to be in that top 5, and I think For Him's going to be in that top 5. I could be persuaded that 5 that we've just mentioned, between Sandbaggers, Sonoran, Old Spice, Tota, and
For Him,
I think any of those guys could be that their placement could change. I mean, they're all really, really good teams. They all fit. You all pretty much check the boxes that you need for a team that you want to see do something. So I think there's going to be some great games in there. I am deliberately not choosing, putting my team in anything. I will say that ahead of time. Nepotism aside, I'll talk about our team because it's my fucking team, right? But I would never say, yeah, we're going to be the 2 spot. Fuck all that. We're going to come out. We're going to do it. We're going to try to, build on what we did at the Carney World Series. We made some significant strides. We've made some adjustments and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be able to do what we need to do. We have 2 big games in pool play. Vintage is a solid team. But the other point that I know I just finished giving them all kinds of props. We play Old Spice as our second pool play game. So it'll be a good opportunity to see what they're going to do and see how we can battle with them. And hopefully we're there to play, deep into Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, Scott always brings a team out that competes regardless of
Yeah.
scores, and those guys compete. They got a long drive too. Although I think they might be like Globe area too. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a little bit of a hike for them.
There's some East Valley and some Globe.
Yeah, so I they're always making the trip, and I appreciate it. Look, it's really coin flip, guys. We could talk shit all day long, but it's really, so many. There's always something weird that happens at AAA.
Yes.
Team gets cold, couple errors pile up in an open inning. Like something weird always happens. I know last tournament, I had a lot of 1 and 2 run games, a lot of walk-offs in the bottom of open. So, nobody really got blown out toward the end of the day when, the couple teams who weren't playing well went home. We got down to like 6 teams. It was tight. And I expect the same thing this weekend. So, hey, next week we'll check our picks. We'll see how we did. And, you guys want to rag us, you can rag us, whatever it is. But, they're out there, and we had the balls to say them. So
Most
I'm sure you guys will.
Most definitely hope people pull up to the tournament. Shake some hands, kiss some babies, and whatnot. Enjoy the time. I mean, because you see a lot of people talking about the tournaments and talking about the teams, and nothing helps these teams get better. Nothing helps these teams get the recognition they need than people showing up and watching them and being able to talk about them, even coming here to our show and talking about them. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm excited to play Winter Nationals twice in a row. 2 weeks in a row. So I mean, if nothing else, there's that. Real quick before we go, because we're running out of time, obviously. One to focus real quickly on our Glue Guys gaming side of things. Of course, my screen name on practically every gaming system or gaming opportunity is It's Blaze Rock, ITS Blaze Rock. My man here to my right, left, whatever, how the internet goes.
Oh, how's it feel?
29. Yeah, I mean, I always say that's why I usually avoid it. I usually avoid it altogether. I just say, hey, my man over here, or my co-host over there, or whatever the fuck. I always try to avoid the actual directions. Nonetheless, Low End Theory 29 is his screen name. We are often playing, between Call of Duty DMZ, playing a little Apex. Obviously, I play a lot of Overwatch. If Apex could get its shit together, it would be a lot more fun to deal with now.
Definitely.
But we do invite invite you guys to join us as we game. I know we play with a lot of players that we've met. A lot of players, and we play with folks that we've mentioned here on the show or even had on the show. And we play them, play with them in DMZ and things like that, and it's a good time. We're going to be expanding some of our Glue Guys gaming things. We're going to be looking into doing some tournaments and things, and also, of course, it's always going to be fun. We're going to have some streams during the week that are potentially just basically Glue Guys streams, not necessarily in the show on the Wednesday proper show, but just over the course of the week, just adding additional content so you guys still can hear some softball stuff while we're playing. Because again, we're playing with a lot of softball players, so it'll be a good time. I'm hoping we can hop on DMZ after this because we got fucking murked in our last game and stripped of everything that was worth the shit.
I will say though, I'm
not gonna lie. I've been storing contraband guns. I have I haven't said this to you, but I have 15 fucking contraband guns right now. So no matter
that's what I was trying to do. So
I just been popping in there. I'll pop in there during the day. I'll pop in, go through,
quick,
grab a couple guns,
get
some guns, do something, boom, get out, get a backpack, get out, that type of shit. But yeah, man, looking forward to it.
Oh no, we're definitely gonna be jumping into some DMZ after the show tonight because I have a sour taste from last night. Matty Ice has been running with us. Pino's jumped in there. We're open to anybody jumping in with us. We got mollywopped. We were on like a 4 or 5 exfil streak getting out.
Yeah.
Some just to get guns. Others we got a couple missions done. So and then that last one we got little. I don't know what it was, but we ran into some really toxic assholes.
Dickheads. Yeah, dickheads. I'm just gonna keep saying dickheads because
I mean, it was
big move
so.
shit, bro. Yeah,
but anyway, look, if I know a lot of you play Call of Duty, come on, get in there. Stop, chat. I don't know who it is, but I don't know if you just came in, but rewind it about 5 minutes. We just gave you the goddamn invite.
Yeah, who's I can't see.
What, somebody need a person? Yeah, I don't know, but somebody needs a oh, fucking Pino. Get out of here.
Yo,
GTFO.
Motherfucker. Yeah. Hey, we'll be on here in about about 20-30 minutes as it is. Cause we gotta make some.
I don't know how your schedule looks.
Yeah.
But that's when we're gonna be on.
Oh yeah. All right, man.
All right, let's get out.
A great show, man. Let's get out of here. Next week, we obviously will do some review of the Senior Winter Nationals tournament, as well as we're going to be going into a season bet with myself, Mark, and our additional correspondent, Corey Miller. So it should be a really, really fun show. You might want to record it or write it down or something like that. So until then, it is Wednesday, January 11th. We love you guys. Always
Win
joining
some
us
hoodies.
at the Glue Guys program. Look out for it. We'll see you later. Peace.